second part of Python Bootcamp course. And for today, we are going to see about Python operators. So, not delaying much, let's start with what is operators. Okay. So, why do we need to study operators? Okay. So, basically, operators are used to perform operations on variables and values. Okay. So now, what kind of operations? Like it can be arithmetic operations, or it can be assignment or comparison. So that we are going to see that are that are different type of operators. So basically, operators are it works on operands. Now, what are operands? So basically, operands are like they can be variables or any values. Now, it can be like suppose I have assigned if you don't know what is variable, what are I've already explained that in the previous video. You can go and watch that. Variables, we have seen the different type of data types of what kind of data types are there, so you can just check that video. Okay, so and if you know that, then we will just continue. Okay, like suppose x is equal to 5 and y equal to 7. Now I need to add these two variables. Okay, so what I can do, I can simply write x plus y. Just the same way in Python, what happens, you can have any other variable, suppose z, and z equal to x plus y. It's as simple as that. In Python, you can just do this and you can print, like you can write print z, and what will be the output? It will be 7 plus 5. Okay, whatever the value is. Okay, so yeah, you can check out like that. So basically, operators works on operands. Okay, so here in this case, x and y will be the operand, and plus is the operator. Okay, operator that works as an arithmetic operator. Okay, so I hope you are getting the what is the funda behind it. Okay, so basically we are having total like arithmetic operators, assignment operator, comparison, logical, identity, membership, and bitwise operator. We are going to see about each and every one of it, and we are going to also code about it. Okay, so let's just move there. So the first one is arithmetic operator. Like the name suggests, it simply means the basic mathematical operations that we do. The mathematical expressions like plus, minus, multiplication, division. Then there is one modulus and this exponentiation, and this is floor division. Okay. Now I don't think that I need to tell what does plus do and what does subtraction mean. So it's simply that you will need to provide two variables that will be called as operands. Okay, that you can take from user as input, or you can just assign it. Okay, I've already explained in the last slide how you can assign it. X is equal to suppose any value that you want, okay, and y equal to any value. Okay, then you just need to assign it to the third variable, and you need to print it. Okay, we will be coding all these arithmetic operations uh, in PyCharm. So yeah, the basic I think all these things are clear. Only the modulus part I will explain what is modulus. Okay, so operator is basically used for it produces the remainder. Like suppose x mod y. This is the syntax. Now, suppose x is equal to 4, okay, and y equal to 3. So our remainder is 1. So our output will be equal to 1. Okay. So it basically generates the remainder. Okay. Whatever the remainder is, that will be produced. Okay. We are going to code it. So don't worry about the coding part. Exponentiation means simply the power part. Okay. Like suppose if you need to find 2 to the power 3. So what you will do, you will just write 2 and then this and then 3. that will work for it. Okay, so basically I hope it is clear. It is basically used for power, or it is basic, yeah, it is basically used for power. Okay, 2 to the power of 3 or 2 raised to power 3. So you will just use this. Okay, here x is this and y is this. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Next is floor division, so we are going to see that. Okay, so basically, floor division is it returns floor value for both integer and floating point arguments. Like taking one example, like suppose if we have 5 floor division and then we have 2. Okay, so we know that by dividing 5 with 2, so we have, and then 2.5, we have 2.5. Now taking the floor value, okay, we know that by taking the floor value of 2.5, it returns an integer value. Yes, so the integer value, that is floor value okay, I hope floor concept is clear. For uh, for more taking the reference, you can just take as example, there is two function, inbuilt function, that is floor and seal. Okay, you can just take this as real life example, like floor is the ground, like ground level, and ceiling is the top value. Okay, floor is the low level or the ground level value, or ceiling you can take it as the top value. Okay, so taking the floor value of 2.5, it will return as 2. Okay, and ceiling value will be 3. Okay, I hope it is clear to you all. Okay, we will take the low value in case of floor, and the sorry, ceiling value in case of seal. Okay, okay, fine. So here, what it will return? It will return the floor value, that is 2. But in case, suppose if I take as minus 5. Okay, in place of 5 we take minus 5, and then floor division 2, then it will return like that. Then value will be minus 2.5, and we need to take the floor value. Okay, so what it will return, basically what will happen, because we know that what will be the less value. Okay, so it will be minus 3. We know that. So that's the simple logic, because we know that minus 2 is greater than minus 3. We know that. So what we will go for? We will go for floor value. Okay, that will be minus 3. Okay, so I hope this concept is clear to you all. That's the simple funda of floor division. It basically consider the floor value. Works same like the division, but only thing is that it returns the floor value. Okay, so by this I think we are clear with the concept part of arithmetic operators. Now we should proceed to the coding part. Okay, we are going to code each and every operators. We are going to see how we will code it. Okay, so let's just move to that. Okay, so here we are. So now we will code it. Okay, so let's just start. Okay, so first we will go for arithmetic operators. So for that, first we will be assigning some values. Then y equal to, suppose, 8. Let's just take the simple one. Okay, and x plus y. Yeah. So let me just remove this. Yeah, so you can see the output is already there. You can just change the operations. Okay, you can just do that. Okay, so that's your assignment. You can do that by your own. And if you are having any kind of doubt, you can see that it is returning negative value. Okay, any kind of doubt, you can comment it out, and we will try to make it clear to you all. Okay, so then you can just see. So that's how arithmetic operations work. We have covered addition, then multiplication. No, sorry, we haven't covered that. You can just check that. Multiplication is also working. Then we are going to see about like exponentiation one. So here you can see x is 5 and y is 8. That means 5 to the power 8. Now we are going to see that. So you can see it returns the power value, okay? Like x to the power 8 has been returned here. You can check it. 2 and then 8. Just check it out. You can explore more. You can just practice it by your own. Then we are going to see about floor division concept. Now, what is that? Like we have seen that suppose x is 2 or x is 5, example that I have shown, and then 2, and then we will take the floor division one. Okay. So what it should return? 2. Why it is showing 2? Like suppose I will take minus 5, then it should return minus 3. You can see. So basic concept here is that whatever the value, like suppose the input is integer, that's why we are focusing to return the integer value. Now suppose if it is float, sorry, yeah, it is float. Now what it will return? Let's check this. It is returning float kind of value, but the only thing is that the concept is same. Okay, it will go to the floor value, but if the input is, okay, if the variables or the operands are float type, okay, the decimal type, float basically means decimal type, okay. So what it will do, it will return the value as float type, okay. Float, that means decimal type of value, but the concept of floor is same, okay. The concept of floor is what? It will choose or it will return the low value, okay, the ground level value, okay. So like it was showing the value that has been returned here is like it should by just normally dividing, like suppose if I divide it normally, okay, so it is minus 2.5. Now just going to the floor function, after going to the floor function, it is returning what? It is returning the floor value, that is minus 3.0. So I hope the floor division concept is clear to you all, because that's very important. Okay. So yeah, that's what it is. Like I hope now you're clear with all the arithmetic operations, how they work. You can explore it more. You can even code it, and you can explore with brackets. Okay. So that's your task. You can go and check more about it. Okay. So yeah, let's just move to the next topic. So now we are going to see about assignment operator. So as the name suggests, in Python, assignment operators are used to assign some values to variables. Now we know the concept of variables, like just taking the simple example, like suppose x is equal to 5. Now what we are doing, we are assigning some value to the variable x, okay. This is our variable, okay. This is our variable, and what we are doing, we are just simply assigning this integer value to x, okay. Now if I will write print and then x, so what it will be printed? It will be printed as 5, okay. The output will be 5. So what we have done, we have assigned some value to this variable, okay. So that simple assignment operator, that is equal to. Now we are going to see that how arithmetic operator can be used by the help of assignment operator, okay, or how we can like we can implement it, okay. Suppose this addition, okay, this addition is there, addition formula. What is happening? We are assigning the value, okay. Suppose x is equal to 5 is our initial value, we have assigned it earlier, okay. Sorry, there will be no semicolon. Yeah, yeah. Now what is happening? Okay, what I have done, I have, after that I have written x plus is equal to 5. Now this statement, this line simply means that x is equal to x plus 5, okay. This is the, you can say this is the shortcut of this statement, okay. What it says, it says that whatever the initial value of x is, okay, this is storing the initial value, suppose, okay. initial value or whatever the initially it has been stored plus 5, and that will be stored in the new value of x. Okay, now if I print, okay, after this statement, if I print x, okay, if I write print x, then what it will be printed? It will not print this value, it will print x plus 5, that is 10. Okay, why? Because it assigns some new value, and that is with the combination of what, the addition operator, that is arithmetic operator. So what we have done, we are assigning it, but also we are implementing some addition formula, and that is what, that is the arithmetic operator. Okay, same like for negative, minus, subtraction, and equal to, that means a equal to a minus 10, whatever the value of a would be, the earlier value, and then minus 10. Okay, then same for multiplication, then division, then modulus. I hope modulus concept, because I have just discussed it in this video, you can just check if you are not clear with it. Modulus simply stores the value. Yeah, so modulus simply returns the remainder. Okay, remainder part of the value. So here what we are doing, we are just having the shortcut, or that is the combination of assignment operator and the modulus operator. Then this is floor division. Floor division, what it does, it simply returns the it simply returns the smallest possible integer. Okay, floor division, first it divide it, and then smallest possible integer. Okay, like suppose 2.5 is there, then what it will return, it will return 2. Okay, and if minus 2.5 is there, then smallest possible integer is minus 3. Okay, so I have cleared it in this video only. So yeah, this is exponentiation, this is and equal to 10, a equal to uh, and then a and 10. Now you must be having some confusion related to this, so I would suggest not to explain this one, because that is another kind of operator, and it is just combining those operator with this. So we are going to see about it. There is and, there is or, and then we have also we have bitwise operator. So skipping this for a while. Okay, just take a hold to it. We are going to see that in the next operators. Okay, so for a while, just consider these operators like yes. So let's just code it, because it is very simple. If you are clear with assignment of sorry, arithmetic operator, then it's same like that. But the only thing is that this is the short form. This is the simplest assignment operator, and these are with the combination of arithmetic operator. And we are going to see about all this. This is going to be the part of another kind of operators like bitwise operator and then logical operator. We are going to see that. Okay, so let's code for it. So like here you can see we are going to code it. Now like I've initialized the variable x as 5, and then I've again initialized, like just showing you all with the shortcut format. So you can see x plus is equal to 5. Okay, and then we are writing print x. Now you can see that initially what it was, print x. Okay, okay, fine. So now what I am doing, I'm going to run it. Okay. Now you can see that initially x value was 5, and then after, again what we are doing, we are assigning it with the addition of the initial value. Okay, with 5. Okay, so what we are getting 10. Okay, so this you can play with negative also, you can play with then you can just check it out here, 0. Okay, then you can go for floor division also. Okay, here you can see, if I will go for floor division, okay, then you can see it's showing 2. Okay, then you can that is your home assignment, you can just go and explore more. It's just the same way, it's working just the same way like the arithmetic operators, and you just explore it more, you can work with it, you can code more, and that's all. We will proceed to the next operator. Yeah, coming to the comparison operator, this operator is used to compare any two values or variables. Like suppose I have assigned x is equal to 5 and y equal to 6. Now I would like I want to compare if x is greater than y or if x is less than y. Okay. So what I can use, I will use comparison operator. This operator and these are the operands. This operator will work as comparison, which will compare whether x is less than y or not. Okay, if it is less than y, then it will return the boolean kind of value. Okay, now what is boolean? I hope you remember in data type video. In that video, I have explained what is data type, and in there I have told you all about bool. Okay, this returns true or false kind of value. Okay, if this condition is satisfied, then it will return true. Okay, and if not, then false. Like you can see 5 is less than 6, then yes, it will return true. Okay, now there are total, like here you can see double equal to. Now as we know that, why not this equal to? Like in mathematics, what we do, we check that by this simple equal to, we check that whether two values are equal or not. Okay, we do that. But in Python, okay, in any like in any other language also, what we do, we check it by the use of double equal to. Okay, we don't use simple equal to, we use double equal to. Why? Because by the help of simple equal to, what we are doing, we are assigning it. This one was used for assigning the value. Okay, this was used as assignment operator, but this double equal to is used to compare whether two variables. Okay, if x is equal to double equal to y, that means we are checking whether these two values x and y are equal or not. Okay, not equal to, this mark, okay, this exclamatory mark is used as not. Okay, not equal to means we are checking whether x is not equal to y. If x is not equal to y, then it will return true. Okay, if x is not equal to y, like you can see 5 is not equal to 6, then it will return true. Okay, greater than sign, less than sign, like here I have already explained, it will check whether x is less than y or not. Okay, it is used to compare two variables simply. Okay, then greater than equal to and less than equal to. I hope this is clear to you all. We can just code it. Okay, let's just code this. Okay, so now we are going to go to the console. Okay, and here we are going to see the comparison operator, how it works. Because if I need to code it, then I will need to explain you the condition statements that are if else, and you don't know about it till now. So I would rather explain you how it is working in console. Okay, like simple, x is equal to 5. Okay, here you can see how it has been created, special variable where it is integer type. Then y equal to 7. Okay, y has been created, and then we will check whether x is less than y. I will just write this here. Okay, it will return true. Yes, why it is true? Because what is happening, it will check whether x is less than y, then yes, it is less than. Then we will check if x is greater than equal to y. We'll check false, it is not. Coming to logical operators, like we have seen in the in the assignment operators also, so we have skipped there. So now we are going to see about logical operators. Okay, so logical operators, it basically it is classified into three parts, that are first and operator, then or and not. So mainly we have three types of logical operators. Now logical operators are used on conditional statements, either true or false. Okay, they perform logical and or logical or we have logical not operations. Okay, now what is and operator? You can just simply see this. And simply means that if we have two conditions, okay, suppose if we have two conditions, like here you can take this as example, like we have x is less than 5. Okay, suppose x is any value, it can be any value. Okay, x is less than 5 and x is less than 10. Now like in English also, what we where we use the and word is used to like to verify two statements, okay, or to consider that the two statements are correct or they are correct. And when we use or, like either this or this, we use like that. The same way in Python, what we use, and is used to check whether these two conditions are true or not. If these two conditions are true, then only the final value that will be returned will be true, okay. And if this is true, okay, this is true and this is false, then the final value will be false, okay. The simple logic is that I will represent it by binary representation. Suppose I will take 1 as true and 0 as false, okay. Suppose I have 1 0, then the output will be, suppose I'm taking this as and, okay, 1 0, output will be 0. 0 1, then the output will be 0. And 1 1, then the output will be 1. 1 is what? 1 is true, okay. And 0 0, then also we have 0, okay. 0 is basically the false, okay. So here and operation simply means that if two conditions are true, then only the result will be true, okay. And in case of or, what is happening? Or simply means that either one of the conditions should be true, okay. So the basically the truth table, we call this as truth table, okay. So in truth table, what happens? Simply we will take the same way. 1 is for true and 0 is for false, okay. So what is happening? 1 0 0 1, then 0 0, and then 1 1. Our result will be, this is the result part. So if any one of them is true, then true. Any one of them is true, then true. And if both of them is 0 or false, then false. If any one of them is true, true. So this is the result, okay. So this is happening in or. We, what happens, we are just checking whether any of it is satisfied or not, okay. Then we have not operator. This not operator simply means whatever the result is coming out, like in this bracket, okay. After solving this bracket, whatever the result is coming out, suppose it is true, then it will just reverse that, okay. The output will be false. Not simply means the opposition, okay, opposing whatever the statement is, okay. Not simply means that. So not is also represented by the exclamation mark, okay. So Now we are going to code it. So like suppose we are assigning x is equal to 5, then y equal to 7. So simply like we say the we'll check for AND operator. So x is less than 10 and y is less than 10. Okay, true. Why? Because x is also this condition is also true and this condition is also true. Now we will go for OR operator. So x is greater than or y is less than 10. Okay, what should be the output? True. Why? Because this condition is true. We know that x is greater than 10 is false, but still this condition is true, that's why it is returning true. Okay, you can explore more. Okay, x is greater than, we can just write not, and then x is greater than or y is less than. Okay, false. Why? Because our, like here you can see, here we were returning true. The value was true. But now, what is the operation of not? Not operator just reverse the value. So it is returning false. So I hope you are clear with this. And I have here you can see I have explained it. So here I have used this operation. Like I have used this and or and not. So these operations or these are basically working on bitwise operator. Okay, this we will see in bitwise operator. So till now, just understand that logical operators just works on two conditions. Okay, it is just working on two conditions, and the way the format, the syntax is simply writing the and or and not. Okay, it's just work like that. Okay, so explore more, you can code more. Now coming to the next part, next operator, that is identity operator. Okay, so basically this identity operator, it is going to check like let me just put this. Okay, yeah, so this identity operator, it basically checks. Okay, right, yeah, so it's just check whether the it returns, like basically we have two types of identity operator, that is and is not. Okay, so as the name suggests, is, what does that mean? Okay, it returns true if two variables point the same object and false otherwise. Okay, now, simply when we say that x is y, what does that means? We check whether x is equal to y, okay? And x is not y. What does that mean? That if it is not equal to y, okay? Not exactly about like it's not checking the equality part, but it is checking the object part, okay? Now you must not be more clear about what is object and all, what is object and what is class, but don't worry, as we are going to see about class and object in our coming videos. So till now I will try to explain this. Like basically, like I have explained that whenever we write type and then x, okay, like suppose I have assigned x is equal to 5, then we see that it is showing something like this, class and then int, something like this. Okay, so it says that it is integer type. Okay, so what does it simply checks is that x is y. It simply checks that if the data type of x is same like the data type of y, okay, it will return true if it is satisfying. Okay, next is x is not y. Okay, it will check whether like the data type of x is not equal to y. Okay, the data type of y, and if it is like it is not equal, then it will return true. Okay, we are going to code it so it will be more clear to you all. Okay, okay. So let's just check the data type of x. Like suppose I will assign some value x is equal to 5 and type x. Okay, So you can see class int, okay, because it is in the integer type, okay, it is integer type. So now what we'll check, we will just check if type x is int, okay. So here you can see it is returning true. Why? Because it is actually checking whether the class of this is int. So yeah, it is int, so it will return true. Now I can check if type and then x is not str, okay. So true, yes, it is like it is not string. We can check that it is not string. So yeah, it is true, okay. So you can just explore more. You can compare two integer type, like suppose y equal to 6, okay, and then x is y, so it returns false. Why? Because it checks whether these two values are equal, like you can see. So here you can see I have assigned the same value. Now x is equal to 5 and y equal to also 5. Okay. Now I will check if x is y. That is if they are equal, if they are having the same class, sorry, data type as well as the values. So yeah, true. Okay. And if I assign y equal to 7, now I will check if x is not y. You can consider, you see this x is not y. I'm checking this. Okay. So it is returning true. Why? Because y is 7 and x is 5. Although their class is same. Okay. But the value is different. So you can understand what is the concept of is and is not. It also check for the object. Okay. It also checks for the class, like in which if they are in the same class or not. Okay. So next we are going to see about membership operator. Now, what is this membership operator? Okay, so membership operator, as the name suggests, it checks whether the variable x, okay, suppose I write x in y, okay, and now what is this y? Y is suppose a sequence, or you can say like we have not discussed about what is sequence. Sequence is basically like it is divided into like it is a list, dictionary, and then we have set, and then we have tuple. Okay, we are going to see about that in our coming videos, so don't worry, I will just consider this. Suppose there is a list, or you can consider it as we are having some collection of values. Okay, there are some values, like suppose this, we are having some collection of value 2 3 then 4, and now x is some variable, like suppose it is 3, x is 3. Now, what we check whether x is in y. So, what we write x in y. So, if it is present there, like the value x is there in this list, then it will return true. Else, it will return false. Same like not in will work for the reverse part, means the opposite, uh, just the opposite of in. Okay. So, now let's just code this. Suppose I have created one list. Okay. Not good. Okay, so now I will check. I have created the list. Here you can see 1, 2, 3, and the list size is 3. And I have created another variable that is 2. Now I will check whether x is x in y. Okay, what I'm doing, x in y. I'm checking the membership, like whether this x is the member of y. So it is returning true. Why? Because here you can see in this list 2 is there. Okay, now if I assign x is equal to 6, suppose. Okay, now I check x in y, false. Why? Because there is no like there is no value. Here you can see no value, like 6 is not there. Okay, so that's all about the membership operator. It checks whether the value x is the member of that specific range, or in a specific range is there, or you can say a sequence is there, and we check whether that specific value is the member of that range or not, or that sequence or not. Okay, so don't focus on sequence now. I would suggest you to ignore that for now. Just consider this as the collection of some values, and it is working like that. Okay. So this is membership operator. Okay. So I hope it is clear to you all. Next, we are going to see about bitwise operator. This is the last operator and this is very important. Okay. So we are going to see about it. Now, bitwise operator are used to compare binary numbers. Now, what are binary numbers? We know that binary numbers are only 1 or 0. Okay. So, like I have explained the AND operation, I've explained the OR operation. In logical operator, same like that, and or we have discussed that, and also not operator in logical operation. But in bitwise operator, what happens? Like in logical operator, we were working with the conditions, yes. But in bitwise operator, what we will do, we will focus with the binary numbers like 1 and 0. Okay, so this is the syntax. This is known as AND. This is OR. This is bitwise exclusive OR. That is also known as XOR. Okay, XOR. Okay, this is bitwise inversion, or you can say, yeah, it is one's complement, bitwise inversion. Then this is bitwise left shift and bitwise right shift. We are going to see about each and every one of it, and don't worry because we are going to even code it. Okay, so let's just see the AND operation. Now I've explained that in the logical operator also by the help of truth table. This is known as truth table. Okay, suppose I have x and I have y, and I have this result, that is x and y. I hope it is visible to you all. Yeah, this yeah. Now 0 0, I'm creating it by the help of truth table. Okay, 0 is for false, just imagine like that. Okay, or just consider like that, because I've explained it, explained the same part in logical operation also. 0 is for false and 1 is for truth. Okay, 1 1, 0 1 and 1 1. This can only be the possibility, like if you are having any two values. Okay, either they can, both can be false, or either both can be true, or one can be false, one can be true, one can be true, one can be false. So what is the logic of AND operator? It says that if both of them, both the conditions are true, then only true, else in every condition it is false. Okay, okay, so that's the condition of AND. Or basically means that in case of OR, this will simply it will get removed. I will explain this only. X or, this is the syntax, x or y. What happens? X or y says that if any one of it is 1, okay, if any one of it is like true, then it will be true. Else if both of it is, like if both of it is false, then it will be false. This is OR. Then we have bitwise exclusive OR. Okay, or it is also called as XOR. Okay, what does that mean? Okay, so in bitwise or exclusive or we can say XOR, it's simply, it same like OR operation, but the only difference is that if both of it, okay, both the conditions are true, or both of them are 1, okay, then also it will be 0. Okay, false. Okay, the only difference between OR and XOR is, this is very important because we always get confused between this, and the syntax is this for XOR and this for OR. Okay, in case of XOR, if both the conditions are true, then our result will be false. Okay, or it will be 0 or false. Okay, in case of OR, if both the conditions are true, then it will be true, okay, or 1. Okay, so I hope it is clear to you all, because that is very important. We always get confused between OR and XOR. Then we have bitwise inversion. It seemed like not operator. Okay, and then we have shifts the bit to left, or left shift and right shift. What is that? Okay, we are going to see that. Just taking till here. Okay, I will explain it. Now, what we are doing, this is the binary number, binary representation of this numbers. Okay, these numbers, like for 0, we have 0, 0. For 1, we have 0, 1. For 2, we have 1, 0. And okay, now I'm taking 5. Okay, like, or just suppose I will take 4. Okay, I'm taking 4, and I'm using left shift and then 1. What does that mean? means first what I need to have the binary representation of 4. That is, suppose, like just I will tell you one trick to remember how to remember what which one is left shift and which one is right shift. Okay, so for left shift 1, what to do first? First, see this, and if you don't know how to change the decimal number to binary number, you can just Google it out. You can check it out. This simply we need to find the LCM of we need to divide it by 2 and write the remainder, and by that we get the binary representation. So, like what we are doing, we are simply finding the binary representation 100. I'm not going to tell you the how to find the binary representation. You can just check it out. You can Google it. Okay, now we have the binary representation of 4, that is 100, and we need to left shift it by 1. Now, this is very important. Left shift it by 1. Now, what does that mean? What we need to do is that we need to shift all these number by 1. Okay, it simply means that. So, for left shifting this, what we need to have? If we left shift this, then we need to add one more 0. Why? To fill this area. Okay, so after left shifting it left, we have this as our result. Just the same way, if we have 100 and then suppose I write it here 100 and right shift 1. Okay, right shift 1. So what does that mean? We need to write 100 here. Okay, what is 100? It is the binary representation of 4. Okay, now what I need to do? I need to right shift it this, like this. Okay, and this. Okay, so what will happen after shifting right shifting it by 1? So we have 0, 1, and then 0. Why? Because this 0 get removes, and it this 0 can fill it by, or can fill this space by coming here, and then this one will come here, and then for this space 1 0 will be added. Okay, so I hope it is clear to you all what we are doing. And same like if we have 2, then we will right shift by 2. Okay, then we will have 0, 0, and then 1. Okay, are you getting this? Why? We will right shift it again. Okay, if 2 is there, if 3 is there, then again we will right shift it, and we will have 0, 0, 0. Okay, that's the basic logic. And to remember which symbol is for which shift, that is, which one is right shift, which one is left shift, just remember that if this is like this, okay, so this means that this arrow point is towards which side? Towards left side. Okay, toward left side. So what we need to do? We need to go with the flow. Okay, this is the simple trick. I use this as to remember. You can also use this. Just go with the flow, and that means that we need to go left side. Okay, here you can see, just go with the flow, and you need to go to the right side. Okay, that's the simple trick. You can use any other trick if you want. So I have taken one example of 4, and I have used left shift operator. Now you can see, you don't have to stop here. Okay, like here you can see the result is 1000. Now you need to check the decimal value of that. Okay, so here you can see the decimal value of 1000 is 8. So our value will be what? 8. Now our, like here for this we were using simple 1 na, that is 4, and then that is right shift and then 1. So what is the value? That is 010. Here you can see 010, that is 2. So our value is 2. I hope it is clear. If you're having doubt, you can just ask in the comment section. We will try to explain it to you all. Okay, now we will go and code this. Okay, here you can see, by just like here you can see, by doing it in by pen copy, there's so much like you need to first represent it in binary, and then we need to right shift it or left shift it. But in coding, while doing the coding part, here you can see how I'm doing it. 4, and then what I'm doing, left. So by just using the right shift operator, we are using right shift operator, and here you can see it is returning 1. Now if I or like here you can see this is left shift operator, and suppose I do 5. Okay, so you can see it is 128. You can check for 4 left shift or any value. Okay, 9 and then left shift 7. Okay, so I hope you're clear with what is left, how to remember the left shift symbol and right shift symbol, because just see this arrow is pointing toward left side, so it is left shift operator. And if it is like right side, so it will be right shift operator. And how it is working, that is clear obviously because I've explained it. And if you're having any doubt, you can ask it. And by this we come to the end of our video. I hope you guys liked it, and do give your reviews. Thank you.